Hi, everybody, and welcome to our RuPaul's Drag Race recap show. If you guys are watching in YouTube, you can click on these buttons below, thumbs up and subscribe. That really helps support our shows. iTunes, 5-star rating, and a nice review is awesome, too. Of course, you can check out all of our Drag Race content at yourrealityrecaps.com/Drag Race. Vince is doing blogs. You can see the past shows with myself and Miss Don Draper, the old shows John used to do, all of it over on the website. And lastly, if you want to support our shows, consider becoming a patron. yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron group and shows and content just for patrons. You also get other cool, like, swaggy stuff and other stuff, but mainly it really helps support our shows. So check it out. But you're all here for RuPaul's Drag Race, so let's bring in the person making me look highly underdressed for this show. A queen for all ages, Miss Don Draper. What's going on? Ooh, look at you, Miss Don. Everyone needs to share this. Oh, here, Miss Don Draper, you give them your nice RuPaul's Drag Race pose, and everybody square, megaphone, thumbs up, tweet the show. Tweet it for the Miss Don Draper.
I have to find my light.
She's giving us 1920s realness with the, what's that hairstyle called?
Sorry.
It's called On the Floor.
It's called You Can Never Have Too Much Hairspray.
Can never.
I'm serving drag queen lots of contouring realness.
Yes, you are, and killing that environment one bottle at a time.
No, actually, this is a beta. So.
Oh, it's BPH free. Oh, we have to talk about it. You look wonderful. I'm so excited to talk RuPaul's Drag Race with you. The premiere episode and Untucked and filling the people in on what they missed.
Yes.
We have so much to talk about. But overall, before we get into the little nitty-gritty of the episode, what was your original feeling of, oh my god, 100th episode and RuPaul's Drag Race is back?
Well, I first of all have been so excited and waiting with such anticipation for another group of fishy queens. And let me tell you what, RuPaul, his producers, Logo, they have outdone themselves. They have really gone out and found one of, I think, the best groups of all time. And they have set the bar really high for this 8th season. And the beginning with the 100th episode was literally gag-worthy.
It was. Now, Miss Don Draper, we asked the chat room last week, and people were picking drag names. You were giving people drag names.
Yes.
So I would like to start. Didn't you say you had a drag name for me?
I did, but I did have a drag name for you, but I don't know if you, drag names are like something that you can give out, but the person has to approve it. So I didn't really come up with options. I only came up with one.
Well, I have one, but I'm going to see if I like yours better. So let's start with what you came up for me.
It is Nita. More. Drama.
Nita more drama.
Yeah.
What if it was Anita? I also liked Anita Carr that I think Lori came up with.
Yeah, Anita drama, or oh my gosh, you're putting me on the spot because I had some other ideas and I forgot. Oh my gosh, I forgot what my names were.
It's okay. I also liked Lush Blue Balls.
Lush Blue Balls is good.
I kind of am a fan of Lush Blue
I know
Balls.
what the other one was.
What?
Wanna Bang.
Wanna Bang. Ooh. Wanna Bang. Patty Tompkins loves Anita Carr. Maybe I'm going to let the chat room decide which one. So chat room, you all pick. Should I be Lush Blue Balls, Anita Carr, or Nita More Drama?
Nita More Drama.
And while they're thinking that, what is your name going to be, Miss Don Draper?
Well, my name comes with a little bit of history.
Okay.
My very favorite movie of all time is Auntie Mame.
Okay.
I absolutely love Auntie Mame. So going along with modernizing that the name Auntie Mame is a movie and a play
Right.
from the 1950s.
Mm-hmm.
So going along with that, are you ready, chat room? Are you ready? I know you're dying to
We're
know.
ready.
Hunty Mame.
Hunty ma'am. So then I have to call you Hunty from now
That's
on the
right.
show.
Hunty.
Okay. Well, okay, Hunty. Okay, you're Hunty now. I'm shortening it to Hunty Mame because I'm gay and I don't like saying full names. So you can be Hunty Mame. We'll have to add that to your overlay next
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
And
Do you guys like it? Hunting Mame? Is that good? Is
they
that
love
fair?
it.
Okay.
Chat room loves it, and literally everybody in the chat room says I'm Anita Carr. So I guess I'm Anita
Oh, Anita
Carr.
Carr is good. And just to warn everybody, I do have on fake eyelashes, so if you see like a bug like fall off at any time from my face, it's
Are
these fabulous fake eyelashes.
are they butterflies? They look like butterflies.
I don't, they're whatever you want them to be. I need a car.
Okay. All right, Hunty. Applause. Yes, thank you. We're going to get to the applause. Oh my God. Is so much to talk about. Okay. Do we want to quickly, we did, if you missed it, you can go back and check it out, the cast breakdown from last week where we kind of showed the queens. But this we saw some of their entrances. Well, we saw all their entrances, but we have a few good ones here for you. I want to start, Miss Dundraper, with the person who I related most to in the diary room.
You mean my pick to win?
What? I don't think
No,
so.
no, it wasn't my pick to win, but I'm my favorite. My favorite
Robbie.
queen, as I announced last week. Again, going back to my love of the classic movies. Yes, Robbie Turner.
I do. I love that Robbie. I love his look. I love everything about our little Robbie. But his diary rooms were so much, I think, how I would be in that type of a setting.
He is a very fishy queen. In my opinion, he really narrated the episode. He's very funny and comedic. I loved when he first came into the workroom and he told everyone that he'd been doing drag for 14 years, but he was only 12. So how could that
Mm-hmm.
be? So he does have a sense of humor that is much like yours, and I just absolutely adore him.
Songy in the chat room seems to love him as well. Some of the other ones, we have so many pictures that we can go through for you guys. I'm just gonna flip through a few. We have our Thorgy.
It's yeah, Thorgy.
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 Thorgy. See, I totally got it wrong.
Serving Bozo the clown.
Right. And then we have our Naisha, right? It's Naisha.
Naisha, right, Naisha.
I can never remember Naisha. Then we have your favorite, Bob.
Bob, again, from you guys that were here last week, Bob the Queen. BOB stands for Big Old Bottom, which is absolutely wearing my unitard of life that I want. You can see the logo blocked out the C.
Mm-hmm.
But loving Bob the drag queen. He is the comedian of the season for sure.
Oh, I have
Yeah,
lots to say.
yes.
I
Yes.
have lots to say about Bob because I know Bob's your pick and Derek is my pick,
Yeah.
and it looks like they are not going to be friends.
Looks like we're going to be feuding. Yes.
Yes. Another New York queen. We have our Acid Betty,
Ah.
who we absolutely love. Echelante. I never remember her name. I just call her Echelante.
That is Cynthia Lefontaine, who is from Puerto Rico but lives in Austin, Texas, y'all. And for those of you who watched last night, you'll remember when she first walked into the workroom, she said, "Oh, I love it in here so much, but I don't know if it's big enough for me and my cuckoo." She kept talking about
Yeah,
her
our
cuckoo,
cuckoo.
which was her hoo-hoo or her pee-pee, and she talks often about her cuckoo.
She's a little cuckoo.
Love the
Who,
Puerto Rican girls.
yeah, you know who I liked was Naomi. Mainly because she liked a lot of our tweets last night.
She did, and it was funny. Naomi liked a lot of our tweets last night that were about people other than her.
Right.
Naomi came in. She was the first queen in, and she let everybody know, even though there was no one there, that she had legs from the floor to her asshole. And what I want to know, Eric, Don't we all have legs from the floor to our asshole?
I think we do.
Yeah, I think we do. But
I'm
she does have absolutely gorgeous, stunning legs. She is serving supermodel 1990s realness.
She is. My favorite part of the entrances was from Layla with say Beetlejuice 3 times.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Yes. She looks like someone went to McDonald's and let the hamburger loose. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
It was a little disappointing to me. I thought her entrance was, yeah.
It was. I was kind of like, oh, you're going, but we'll see. And then, of course, how can we not love our little kimchi?
Serving anime realness. I mean, the inner geek nerd in me was so happy to fly my freak flag high. Just, I'm loving her style, her makeup, or just makeup goals are everything.
Mm-hmm.
Kimchi is definitely going to be a strong contender through this season, and she just slayed last night.
She did. I loved her. Now, I want to talk about her little touching moment. We need to talk
Oh, I
about
know
you.
we do.
We have
Okay.
to talk about her little touching moment. But we also have, because New York represent, and if you guys like these, we'll get more for the next show. But Miss Don Draper got the drag and boy looks for our New York queens.
So arriving, Kennedy, LaGuardia, Islip.
Exactly. That's funny when you say I slip. We have Acid Betty, so there's our little Acid Betty as drag and boy Betty.
And we do have three queens this season that Eric is showing now that are three New York queens.
Yes.
We have
Bob.
Bob,
And then lastly,
Thorgy,
Thorgy, who shocked me the most as Boy Thorgy.
Boy
Thorgy.
Boy Thorgy. It sounded like Boy George.
Hashtag Boy Thorgy.
And Thorgy is from Brooklyn. So Thorgy does Brooklyn drag and got some shade from a couple of other people for not doing Manhattan drag. So even though he is a New York queen, she does it in Brooklyn.
Yeah, and there's no difference.
At least she's not a bridge and tunnel girl.
Yeah, Acid Betty, not liking you. Not a fan.
Acid Betty scares me, but I love it.
She scares me, and she's not doing New York any favors. I'm all for Team Bob, and Thorgy representing us is what I'm about.
I'm getting the feeling last night that there's this new trend in New York drag that's very dark, very, very club, very. They made a comment that there's a lot of beards now, which to me there should be no beards in drag unless it's your best lesbian friend you're bringing to the bar with you, if you know what I mean. But it's very interesting to see how these three are going to run through the dynamics of the season.
Right. I mean, I think I said this on the last show. Drag queens scare me. I don't like going to gay bars because of drag queens. They frighten me, and I feel it's always been that way in New York ever since one threw deli meat at me while singing Hero. I'm a little frightened of them. This show over 8 seasons has helped me work through it.
Well, that would definitely would scare me too. But I have to say, I've learned so many things from drag queens, like how to put on my makeup, how to put my clothes together, and how to tuck properly. And I'll just let you figure out what that means.
We all need to tuck. Like I saw that horrible invention, World's Worst Products, which was how to tape up your arms the other day. It was very interesting. It's basically they're selling tape. Anyway, I digress.
Right.
So all the ladies come in. I thought you had your hairspray. I thought you were gonna do an Acid Betty.
I do. Yeah, Acid Betty comes in like this.
Yeah, Acid Betty, I don't know what you're doing, Acid Betty. I don't know what you're doing.
She's very colorful. She's a self-proclaimed, very colorful, glitterati queen. And she definitely is bringing everything that she says.
Well, speaking of glitterati and colorful queens, what was with RuPaul at the start of this episode?
Oh, honey, it's like he woke up and thought, how can I be as colorful as I can? I mean, you think about RuPaul, the fairy godmother of drag.
Right.
He gets to be the best of both worlds. So when you're going to dress up in drag and wear these fabulous outfits, and by the way, he does all of his own makeup and everything still to this day. That's one of the things he hangs his hat on. He goes into his closet and he must think, well, honey, I don't want to just put on a regular old Armani suit. I gotta like spice it up.
Spice it up a color.
He can't let these other queens stand out. Although I think he's 6'6". He's pretty close to your height, Eric, right?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, I think we have a picture. It always blows me away at the end of the episodes when the credits roll and you see him standing with the other judges and their like heads are at his nipples.
I know.
Like he could like whack-a-mole them.
He can wear whatever he wants. He's still fabulous. But I love it because he still has a very androgynous look. Like all of his male clothes are still very tailored. But I mean, I love everything he does. And if he were to come out in anything less than his fabulous colors, I would have been disappointed.
Yeah, I'm happy. I like a colorful Rue, and that was really when he let everybody know this is the 100th episode. Now, what he also said, which I thought was interesting, he explained the challenge. He's like, our mini challenges, you're going to be taking photos with legendary queens, and don't get upstage. But then he was like, I also want to congratulate Derek Barry for being the 100th drag queen through the door.
Speaking of Derek Barry, I just got a Twitter notification that Derek Barry liked Reality Recaps show
Team
right now.
Derek. Team Derek Barry.
That's very exciting. Yay. Oh my God. And speaking of that, in case I forget to say, last night, Queen Michelle Visage liked one of my tweets.
Oh, we love Michelle.
Died.
Look, I don't want to make any promises. But Derek, if you're watching, girl, you need to come on.
Girl.
But Michelle, I'll just say, y'all might be seeing Michelle here soon. We are friendly with Michelle here at Reality Recaps, is what I'm saying. We've had some interact. We got her info, is what I'm saying. We could maybe get a Michelle Visage on here.
That would be very exciting. Make sure that everybody in the chat room and watching on YouTube, that when you do watch the show next week, whether it's live on the East Coast or West Coast, or whether you're rewatching it on yourrealityrecaps.com, make sure that you make comments and like tweets and reshare tweets. Absolutely. That's the kind of things that will help bring the queens right here on You Now straight to you and on YouTube.
Exactly. Pretty much just favorite and retweet anything that's Drag Race. Favorite it, retweet it. If you see us tweeting it, favorite, retweet. Favorite, retweet it.
Retweet.
Do it. Favorite, retweet, because that will help us get the queens on 100%. So, I just want to know, do you feel like Rue singling out Derek as the 100th queen meant anything or not? Like, I felt like in a way, maybe I'm in Big Brother brain, but I felt like it in a way put a little target on his back.
I definitely think, and it was mentioned 2 or 3 times last night from Rue, other contestants, and a couple of judges. They're already calling Derek out and saying, look, we know that you're Brittany, but in order to stay in this competition and be competitive, we're going to see a little more than your toxic tuck, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
So I do think that there are only 12 queens this season, and generally there are 14. So in order to make Derek the absolute 100th, they had to keep the cast at 12. But bringing her in last, all of the queens knew her. She is a famous queen in Vegas. She performs 6 nights a week as a very wonderful Britney Spears. And with Britney having her installation in Vegas, you know that they're friends. So she is competition, but she is going to have to bring something other than Britney every week. And I definitely think that pulling her in last like they did last night, Ari, I agree that she has a target on her back.
I was just on my Twitter to try and I wanted to pull up the photo of Derek Barry, and it's interesting. I followed everybody last night, but it's not saying that I'm following any of them, which is really weird. But let's show our Derek. Let's show our Derek in his mini challenge as Brittany. So how to pose. You'll notice Bianca over there as the clown. One of my favorite moments of last night. Loved it.
P.S. Who is really not Bianca. Bianca decided not to show up. That was just a clown.
Oh, yes, obviously. Well, I don't think she decided not to show up. I really think she had a scheduling conflict because if I recall, she is in the actual promo photo of this photo. You know what I'm saying? So I think they
Yeah.
photoshopped her in.
So I read a couple of different things online. So
Oh,
we'll have to get to the bottom of that and
Tell
let
us the
you know
tea.
next week. Well, I've heard multiple things that she just there was some conflicts and conflicts of interest, deciding that she didn't want to play the game.
Really?
But
Really?
we're gonna have to get to the bottom of the tea.
I'm looking for for that photo right now. Oh, I think you're right. Oh no, she's there. Look. Boop. She's right there. She's there on the right.
Could have been photoshopped. But
Could have.
yeah, she is there. Oh, yep, she is there. I don't know what happened then. I don't know. We'll get to the bottom of it. And if anybody knows, please tweet us on Twitter and let us know if you find any articles or
Yeah.
find out any more information.
Definitely let us know if you find it anymore. All right, so let me flip through a couple of these queens doing their looks. So we got Kim Chi doing hers. You just saw Derek Barry. We got Naomi. Oh my God, yes. And my little Bobby, Robbie.
Little Robbie Turner.
Layla.
So, I don't know if everybody knows the mini challenge, which is the first challenge that the queens do. They had to pose for a photo shoot with a famed photographer with all of the past winners of RuPaul's Drag Race. And so each one got to do whatever they wanted. They could use the couch, they could use the stage, they could do whatever they wanted to. And their challenge was to bring about the best photo shoot and give the best face.
Right.
And that was their first mini challenge.
And who there was a winner, right? Or there wasn't a winner because the way that because usually the winner. Oh yeah, there was a winner.
Yes.
There was a All right, let me go to that photo. I get it now. I totally forgot. This is your favorite part. I'm going to let you talk about it. So here we go. Please explain this, Miss Don Draper. Explain it.
Okay. Actually, that after that challenge, this is that challenge was actually Kim Chi won that challenge. So this is not a picture of Kim Chi,
No.
but Kim Chi, the anime girl, actually won the couch challenge. That picture that you just showed was Morgan McMichaels, who is a past queen, and Morgan McMichaels introduced the Maxi Challenge, which is like the main challenge on the show. And the way that was done is he got on all fours and shot a ping pong ball right out of his bungholio. And whatever name was on that ping pong ball was going to be the person who would then decide how to match each of the current queens with a past queen challenge.
Right.
So if you want to show the picture again really quick.
Yes.
If it makes sense to everybody. So he sets it up. I don't know if we have echo when that's happening, but he sets it up, shoots it out, and lo and behold, my favorite contestant, Robbie Turner's name comes out. So Robbie is then given the chance, or given the duty, no pun intended, to decide who gets paired up with whom for a past challenge.
Right.
So all of the previous winners that were there did a runway, and they came out and they talked about previous challenges from previous years that they represented. And then Robbie he assigned each of the new queens that challenge that they had to recreate for the maxi challenge. That's a lot of words I
That was
just
a lot of words. And what is funny is Robbie
it's hard to
forgot to pick
explain.
himself.
Yeah.
This is when you get to be shady. So somebody would come out and they would be like, "We're representing the glitter ball challenge from a previous season. Robbie, who do you want to assign glitter ball to?" And he would assign it. Who do you want to assign the candy challenge or the apocalypse challenge? And the whole time I'm like, I didn't feel he was being shady in his picks, but I was like, that was a good one. Why didn't you take that one for yourself?
I
Why didn't you
know.
take that one for yourself? And finally he gets to the end. He's left with like dog couture.
And I was just like, Robbie, like, I was just so excited about seeing each of the previous drag queens walk out. I mean, I love Raja. I love Violet
Mm-hmm.
Chachki, Jinx Monsoon. I loved watching them walk the runway. They showed their look from the previous season. And I was just so like, oh my God, this is like, the best revisiting this old stuff. I was also so wrapped up in it that I forgot that he was supposed to pick someone.
Oh,
And
you did too?
I did. I didn't even think about it.
Here were some of our queens from that challenge, Raja, and some of our other
Gotcha.
faves that were in the challenge. Well, after all of the roles were assigned for it, is one of my favorite parts, just like it is the queen's part of a first episode, is when everybody goes back to the workroom and you get to see kind of what they look like as boys.
For the
Um,
first
for
time.
the first time, we showed you the New York queens, but I'm sorry, I know that you're not, but I am team Derek. And hi boy Derek.
Yeah, so Derek is serving a little Twinkie teen Brittany. He is I don't get me wrong, I love Derek. It's just Derek is just very obvious and I just really want to see him do a lot. I mean, he
Obviously gonna win.
yeah, well, let's hope that he does. But I definitely think he'll at least make it to the snatch game where he can impersonate someone. But if you remember from the past, Chad Michaels was Cher. I mean, Chad Michaels basically had plastic surgery and did a lot of things to look like Cher and made a living as a Cher impersonator. Ended up winning the season,
Hmm.
but Chad did do a lot of different things.
Well, we saw in Untucked, Derek kind of acknowledges that, and he says Chad came on, but he came on as Chad, who was a Cher impersonator. I'm
Hmm.
coming on as a Britney impersonator, and I'm gonna give you some Derek. So, I mean, he knows why he's there, to promote his show
Hmm.
and what he's good at, being Britney.
Hmm.
And I think it's what he should do.
So at this point in the workroom, they're getting ready and they basically are given all of the things that they need to make their outfits. And so
Hmm.
they're going to try to recreate it. And here you can see the workroom and their stations. Bitch Ball was the name of one of them. I guess that's Money Ball was one
Yeah.
of them. There was Disco Ball. There was the boat look. And so they all get to their stations, and this is really the first time they've all had a chance to even talk to each other. So it's
Hmm.
the first time that they see each other out of drag.
Yep.
So it's very vulnerable for a drag queen at that point. And it's also the time then when the show starts to give us a little bit of backstory and a little edit about each person. You start to see like who's going to be the fishy queen, who's the shady queen, who's the
Hmm.
comedian, who's the vulnerable one, who doesn't speak English well. And so this is really like one of my favorite parts of the show where you get to see
Right.
um, the non-artistic stage version. So who impressed you in the workroom, Eric?
Obviously, Kimchi. I mean, his story was very, I feel like they almost, I want to say it's obligatory every season we get the queen storyline of my parents don't know that I do this. I almost would bet any amount of money we are going to get an untucked Skype call from the parents
Mm-hmm.
later in the season telling him how much they love him. But it was still very touching to see him talk about his relationship with his family and how they don't know that he really necessarily does this and stuff like that.
Right.
So I like that.
He did say that he told, the other queens were like, well, what do your parents think you do, and like,
Makeup.
how do you do this? And he said, well, my mom thinks that I'm a makeup artist. And he got very sad and kind of teary. And this is one of the great things about Drag Race, and about this forum and this outlet, is it really, it can bring a lot of courage to the viewers,
Right.
but also the contestants. So like you, I am really excited to see how his journey plays out, because I think he's going to do really well. And with all this success, he's going to have to tell his parents.
Oh, well, I mean, I think when you go on the show, you have a countdown of a definite date you have to tell your parents. My favorite part was how he ended it with, like, I just don't want to disappoint them, and I don't want them to see me as a failure. Well, girlfriend, you best win.
Right.
Otherwise, you fail.
That's right. What else did we learn from the workroom? We learned a little bit about
Layla has a nice ass.
Layla has a nice ass, yes. And also we learned that Cynthia LaFontaine has injected ass. So she let everybody feel her ass, because it's all like
That was
not
was
latex.
that yeah.
Cynthia LaFontaine.
Yeah, they did it in Untucked, I think, is when they
Oh,
did
or
the
was
whole
it? Okay.
feeling up of the butt. But yeah, I mean, workroom is always kind of interesting. We saw a little bit of the which we have. Let me go to that. We saw a little bit of the drama from the workroom. We have Dax exclamation point was just checking people out. What else did we have? Oh, and him working on his Hello Kitty. But then we have your favorite, the rippage. The rippage and the sewing.
So this was great, because he put on his outfit, and I'm gonna do a little cheat. That's it's LaFontaine. It's Chi
Chi
LaFontaine, right? Yeah.
Chi LaFontaine,
Chi
yeah.
LaFontaine put on her outfit, and as she was putting it on, ripped right in her crotch, and it was hilarious, like big old hole in the part where you have to tuck. So that's not gonna work. So I love that she had to get right on up to the sewing machine
Yeah.
and get in there and try to to fix it on the fly.
My favorite part of her in the workroom, and you can kind of see it right there, was her with the bangs. When she was just like flat ironing her bangs for like 10 minutes. And she was just like, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna keep flat ironing them.
Yeah, and this is the part where everybody starts to, talk about how long they've been doing drag. You find out like who's making all of the shady comments. The New York people kind of are sticking together. And Miss and Chi is the one who's from Lafayette, Louisiana,
Right.
or not Lafayette, but from the Bayou. And so I think, and I think you touched on this last week, she's the one that came in with when she first came into the workroom, she was wearing a trash bag, but it was
Right.
really like beautifully done.
Yep.
And I think that that's the kind of thing that the show is going to, and Rue is going to cling on to, because it's someone who, and she even says, she's like, I'm doing trashy drag. Like but it's because,
She doesn't have
she
any
doesn't
money.
have a lot of money. She even said, what, so one of the queens said, what makeup brand do you like the most? And she's like, well, whatever costs $1, honey. I'm not brand loyal. So she's sort of endearing as this person who doesn't have a lot of money, but that's what drag is all about. It's about art. It's about expression. Right. It's about performance. And I sort of love that vulnerability about her. And I'm really excited to see how she does. We haven't really, seen a lot of performance from anyone yet, but I think Mama Rue may take her under her wing. And I think that she may be a little bit of a surprise of the season. She's a very beautiful queen, so.
She is. Well, speaking of our Rue, let's take a little look at her on this episode when she's getting ready to judge. I'm loving it.
She can do no wrong. I mean, I grew up, I'm going to start to tell how old I am here, but I grew up with RuPaul as just somebody that I adored and worshipped. I remember, this, supermodel of the world, her show back on VH1, she had a talk show.
Yep.
Rue can do no wrong, and
Nope.
she just comes out, and your mouth just drops open.
It does. You love it. You know who I love from judging all the time, and I don't know if it was syndicated worldwide, but she was very popular here in New York when I was growing up. Was
I
our
feel like my hair is starting.
Michelle Visage on the radio, and of course our other judges, Ross and Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, and then who I refuse
Our guest judge last night was
who I
Nicole
refuse
Rich-
to take a picture of.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why don't we like Nicole Richie?
'Cause she is everything that's wrong with America.
Not anymore.
More. And still.
Okay.
She even said on the show, look, and I'm not gonna hide it, that her show with Paris Hilton was one of my favorite reality shows.
The Simple Life.
The Simple Life.
Yeah.
But she was like throwing out some of those phrases on the judging panel, and she was wearing the Ariana Grande kitten ears.
She did have on the kitty cat ears. I know, but that's because it's the whole kitty. Yeah, I know. She was cute. She had some funny lines. When she was judging. The next section that we're going to talk about is the runway, where everyone shows off their outfit for the Maxi Challenge. And Rue said about one of the queens to Nicole. He said, "Where would you wear that?" And she said, "To carpool pickup."
Yeah, she said that. She said that for kimchi.
It was really pretty funny. So I mean, I
Well,
respect what you're saying, but okay.
Let's talk about our little Derek Berry and his comedic reveal of this was his outfit, and then boom, Christmas bush.
Time to trim the bushes.
And then he would go like with the scissors and be like, "I'm trimming the bushes." I liked it.
Again, I'm gonna have to go ahead and we'll have a little bit of an argument here. I thought it was okay. I mean, he came out looking like Britney. He didn't do any sewing. He put a little bush on his bush where he probably doesn't have any bush. It was kind of cute, that he did a little trimming, but I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed.
You know who was impressed? RuPaul, and that's what matters.
Rue thought it was funny, but so Derek is safe, and RuPaul says the one thing that she hates saying the most is "you're safe."
Well,
because safe don't mean nothing.
Let's flip through some of these queens' looks, and we'll get more into the Bob and Derek, because that was a huge part of their issue on Untucked. So this is our Acid Betty and her final runway look. This was Dax, right? Dax exclamation.
That's a Dax exclamation point with the Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty. Then we have our Chichi. That was her glitter ball. Then we have our Thorgy Thor, and that was Thorgy's look. Here was our Robbie and his little
Robbie with the little puppy.
With the little puppy. Well, there's a lot more of those looks. But yes, so that was basically our. Oh no, we have a few more. Let's not forget the best one of all.
How about Naomi
and Kimchi? We got Kimchi's
Kimchi is serving Cats on Broadway. I mean, I just wanted to break out into memories. But it was actually, her outfit was inspired by Givenchy. Kimchi is she's a designer queen. So as the season goes on, you'll hear us talking about the different kinds of queens, the different categories. She is very much a person who plays homage to designers. And so that her outfit was actually a Givenchy inspired a hair wig.
Right. Yeah. Definitely. Oh, and we can't forget Bob's look. We have to show Bob. I wouldn't want to be shady and Derek you and show Derek and not our Bob. So then we have Bob had to do curtains.
Bob was gone with the wind. Tomorrow is another day, Miss Scarlett. And I love me some Bob, but again, I'm going to say, just like Derek, he played it safe. I mean, he put on a little I Love Lucy dress. He kind of led with the purse, which was funny because it was this sort of furry purse. But, I mean, it was okay. It wasn't anything stunning or impressive. He was safe.
And then here's your Naomi, and she had to carry a big boat down She had to carry a big
I think
boat.
we have like a picture of
Of
her.
her, we don't. I
Okay.
looked, but that was her. I was just showing
Okay.
who. I don't have
Um,
any boat picture of her.
she was I thought she looked stunning. Again, legs for days. She had that beautiful
Mm-hmm.
flat ironed hair. And she looked just like Michelle Visage last night, who was always goals. Walking out with the boat was a little awkward, like, but she played it off fine. And as soon as she dropped that boat and turned around, oh my God, ass goals.
Ass goals. Well,
Fabulous.
the queen that we have to show, the
Mm.
queen that we have to show is Naisha and her look.
Girl, what was Naisha thinking?
She was thinking, "Oh, I got a piece of fabric. I'm going to take it. I'm going to go like this and pin it
Mm-hmm.
on my shoulder, and then take a piece of cardboard and wrap it around in front of me."
So gold lame, cardboard, like corset, something up here.
Mm-hmm.
As the season goes on, you'll see that there are sewers, there are non-sewers, there are people who come with, not a lot of outfits because maybe they haven't been doing drag for a long time.
Right.
There are people who come with $1,000 outfits. It's a very competitive thing. That's one of the reasons that I give so much respect to Chi Chi DeVane because she showed up in a trash bag, but still like was flawless and owned it. So,
Right. Nope.
um,
I loved it,
yeah.
but we know who didn't love it.
Mm,
Rue did not love it
the
because
judges.
our Rue put Naisha in the bottom. Now, along with what kind of did surprise me as well was
Mhm.
our Layla was in the bottom, and
Layla. Hmm.
yeah, they were the two that had a lip sync for their life. Did that
Well,
surprise you?
well, remember, like, you know, Layla showed up as Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. That
That
was our first impression.
and I didn't like it.
And then she was the Hamburglar in the photo shoot for the mini challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And then I actually, I really am not sure why she was in the bottom two. I mean, it wasn't obvious to me.
Nope.
She did the whole feather thing, which she actually sewed.
Yep.
But I don't. Do you remember what the judges' comments were? Why she was one of the weaker ones?
They just said they didn't feel like it was good enough, is what I think their like general
Yeah.
can.
And chat room, if you remember, throw some comments up here. Because I feel like, I mean, it was sort of like the lesser of all the evils because, everybody was kind of okay, but
Well, you know what?
oh, love and kindness, yes, her bottom wasn't done, just the top. That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, they didn't. I wouldn't say it wasn't done. They just didn't like it. David Thielen, they just didn't like her bottom part. I don't think it wasn't done. I hate when Michelle Visage gives the critiques of like this
Mhm.
one part is so amazing
Mhm.
that it made me not like your other part. Okay, so I should have just did shittier on the top and had more time to make the bottom a
And
little
you
nicer.
you don't want to get on Michelle's bad side.
Don't
Here.
get on
No.
Michelle's bad side because
Don't.
she's from New York and she'll cut a bitch.
Should have cut her bitch.
She will cut a
So,
bitch.
those two ended up
Well,
on. Go ahead.
yeah, they ended up lip syncing for their lives, but I
They
mean,
were
was
on
it
the
even
top.
a challenge? Because our Layla was killing it. They had to sing to applause.
Applause, applause.
And
Lady Gaga.
I loved Kimchi had my best moment for the night when he was like, Naisha thinks she's a soccer mom. He's like, goal, goal, goal. Because that was the whole dance for Naisha. Like, she's like, applause, applause, thanks to applause.
And Kimchi did win the Maxi Challenge. She won the main stage
Right.
challenge for that fabulous outfit and the makeup. All of the judges loved her makeup. They loved everything that she did. So she did win that challenge and she won. I think we already showed the picture of it.
Mm-hmm.
She won a selfie stick. Yeah, look at that makeup. I mean, she is serving anime, strawberry shortcake, realness. I mean, it's fabulous.
I loved it. And yes, and she won $3,000. I feel like that's the first time RuPaul's Drag Race gave any amount of, or any allot amount of money.
I think it's the selfie. It was like selfiestick.com. It was like hashtag sell. It was like the company. I tweeted it last night. I think they probably put up the money.
As you can see, them battling for the lip sync of their life, it really wasn't that much of a challenge.
No,
Like,
and I mean, Naisha, okay, what was this, Eric? What was the Naisha was going like? She was like clapping.
yeah,
Like she
that
had
was the soccer mom thing.
like she had like a clacker, like she was like making a movie. It was like, what? It's
It,
like
it was like goal,
she just
goal,
did it. And
goal.
she was a beautiful queen. Like her face was beautiful. I mean, she was beat, and we all know from Housewives of Atlanta that means
Mm-hmm.
good. Like her beat was on. So
I think Acid Betty had the reaction the best to it when he was like, "Ooh, girl." He was like, "What is happening on that main stage?" Well, no surprise. I don't think to anybody that watched is that it was Naisha that went home. But here's my question for chat room. And you guys know we cover a lot of shows during the week. Is it because I have Big Brother on the brain? Like, let's look at Boy Naisha. Boy Naisha. Like, he's reminding me of somebody, and I don't know who it is. And I think you said before the show, Miss Don Draper, you thought it was like a Big Brother Canada person.
I did, but do you want the chat room to make their
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm waiting to see who the chat room thinks it is. Oh, they're saying, "Yep, Big Brother Canada." Reminds me of Andy.
Andy?
Andy who, Maximus?
Think of Big Brother Canada.
Well, who did? Yeah, they are saying, they are agreeing that it's Big Brother Canada. And why is it Philip? Is it the YouTuber one or
No, I
Raul?
thought he looked like Johnny. I was thinking Johnny.
Oh, Johnny from our show. That's interesting. Love and Kindness says Raul a little bit. Andy and Pretty in Pink. Oh, got it. Okay, yes. That's interesting. Well, it doesn't matter because he's gone.
Sashay away.
Girl, bye.
So that ended the competition for the show, and
For this week,
we then move into Untucked, which I don't think we talked about last week, but Untucked is a post show, kind of like how on Big Brother Jeff does his after Big Brother recap.
Mm-hmm.
Untucked is available on
YouTube
the day after on YouTube or on logotv.com, so you don't have to have Logo channel to watch it. And it's a great show that is a kind of like behind the scenes and a wrap up of everything that happens behind the scenes and after they're on stage. So
it's all drama. It's drama. If you want to know what it is, it's RuPaul's Drag Race drama. And that is why I like it.
So, Eric, on the Untucked edit, who do you think is getting the favorable edit? Who do you think is getting the bitchy edit? And who do you think is in danger based on the Untucked edit?
Well, let me show. Here's a little bit of, here's your favorite. Here's a little bit of the clips from our behind the scenes of the ladies getting a little catty. We also see Naisha, getting ready. We see Bob, and he's having a little conflict with our Derek. We're going to get there. But if you haven't seen it, I like it because it shows you like these behind the scenes. Obviously, you get to see Naisha leaving. You get to see a lot of really cool stuff on Untucked. And before I say how I kind of feel about Untucked, I want to know, chat room, if you've watched previous seasons, and I'll ask you, Miss Don Draper, do you like it better on YouTube? Because this always used to air on Logo right when Drag Race ended, and then they moved it over to YouTube. I think for probably more money, or they weren't getting the money they wanted.
Probably advertising dollars, because they'd have to still sell commercials. I think the last time that they had it on Logo, they had Absolute Vodka as their sponsor, and they were probably paying for it.
Yep.
I want to know what the chat room says, but I loved Untucked on Logo because it would air right after the show was over. While we had just seen it, it was fresh in our mind, and it was on right after. A couple of years they did it maybe the day after or another time during the week, but I really liked it on Logo.
The only reason I liked it on Logo is because I didn't need to wait to the next day. That's it. I love it on YouTube. Number one, you get to watch it straight through. You don't have 5 commercial breaks during it. So that's the first reason I love it. The
Mm-hmm.
second reason, they can say a lot more. They don't have to bleep out curses. They can be
Mm-hmm.
funnier. They can be more raunchy. So while it sucks I have to wait the day for it, and that part I don't like, I wish they would put it, and I don't know why they can't, just put it on YouTube right when the show ends. What's the
Yeah,
difference?
chat room is saying it's uncensored on YouTube, so
Right.
we get to see, like you said, all of the bad words.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually think the production value last night, it was really impressive. Like it was, you showed some of the pictures. It was very like film noir at the beginning,
Oh, I
black and
love it.
white. I really, it's almost like there's two different companies doing it. But I thought Untucked this year it's off to a fabulous start,
I
and
love it.
everybody goes backstage and they're while they're untucking in the Interior Illusions Lounge,
Mm-hmm.
they're having a cocktail, and they really, you get to find out more about how people feel because they're not
Right.
on.
Well, the first group of queens that always goes back is the safe queens.
Mm-hmm.
Usually they talk crap about the queens that are still out there and who do you think's going to win and who do you think's not. And they kind of did that a little bit. But
Mm-hmm.
what I love that they did that they've never done in Untucked seasons before is each of them did their walk and the others critiqued them. And
That
I
was
loved that part.
That's great.
I loved it.
So, who do you think kind of ran that talk? Like, how there's always like an alpha male, funny in this whole thing. Who do you think kind of ran that dialogue backstage?
Well, your pick to win, obviously. Bob.
Bob.
Bob ran
So,
it.
like Eric said, the group of queens that are backstage are all the ones that are safe,
Mm-hmm.
and the ones that are on stage are the people who are the potential winners and the
Right.
people who are in the bottom. So they're all sitting back there waiting to find out, who's going to come back. So there's quite a period of time while they're doing that.
And that's why I liked it. And then they all come back. And then they all come back in. And then, we see the tension of who's going to go. And Naisha's like, who is it? Me. I got to sing. And Bob's like, I got my Walkman right here for you. But I think the real drama from Untucked is between our Derek, my Derek, not ours. He's mine. You can't have him.
And my Bob.
And your Bob. They don't really seem to like each other. Bob is pretty much calling out Derek on all you can do is Brittany.
Well, my favorite quote of the entire episode last night was when Bob said, he said, "Is Brittany scared of
Beyonce?
Beyonce?" Well, then Bob ain't scared of Derek. Oh, I did a terrible job of that.
Yeah, I loved it. That was definitely a
Yeah.
good line. I think the tension is building between both of them. If you go back and look, they both got the most airtime this episode. I have a feeling this season is, and we did not, and we could be wrong, but we did not know this. I feel like it's going to come down to Bob and Derek.
I think they're gonna be up there. I don't it's gonna be interesting to see though. I really feel like if Derek doesn't bring something more than Brittany, you know, she's not going to make it that far. I mean, she'll go far, but maybe top 3. But I'm seeing Kim Chi up there.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, Thorgy really surprised me. I agree with you that Bob and Derek did get a lot of the
Mm-hmm.
favorable win edits, but also, my favorite, although I didn't pick to win, my favorite Robbie Turner basically narrated the entire episode. So.
But he's,
Uh,
yeah, I think he's in trouble. I
I
think
I
he's in
think he's in
trouble.
trouble too, but we just have to wait and see because as the challenges move on, we're going to find out who can sew. There's going to be more photo shoots. There's going to be more comedy. There's going to be all these different type of challenges, and they're going to play to certain people's strengths. So the person who wins is the one who is not the one trick pony, and
Well,
we're going to have to wait and see.
I loved when Rue said, because, Robbie, I believe Robbie's excuse, or was it Naomi's, was kind of like, oh, no, it was Robbie's. Oh, this is the first thing that I sewed. And myself. And Rue was like, this isn't the place you sew your first dress. You sew your first dress when you learn you're coming on this show.
Yeah.
And I loved that answer to him and from Rue. But here's where I am torn. All the judges get in are critiquing and saying everything, and they're agreeing with you on Derek. All of them did say we want to see more than just Brittany, except Rue. Rue said no, because Michelle Visage basically said, put away Brittany. We're done. We get it. You're Brittany. It's over. Put it away. And
I need a brunette wig. I'm going to need a brunette wig soon.
And Rue said, no, I don't know if I was in Derek's shoes, what I would do at that point. Because Rue does have the final say. Personally, I think I'd play to Rue.
That's true. I mean, and even Derek said that. Derek said during the Untucked episode, she even said, I don't know what to do. She came back after listening to her comments, and she's like, at that point, she didn't know whether she was going to be in the bottom two or maybe one of the top two. She said, I'm not really sure what to think, because she kind of got conflicting information. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, David Thielen in the chat room says, Carson says you show your first dress in the 6th grade when your mom's away. I used to dress up in when I was little. I used to dress up in my mom's wedding dress and dance around to tiptoe through the tulips, and that's a true story.
Well, I definitely think that this has been a great start. The 100th episode really is revving up for a great season. We have a fantastic cast. They have really picked the cream of the crop. These people are all very well-known drag queens, even though, Rue acts like he doesn't really know them. These people are all major performers, and they're out there. And it's really going to be interesting to see how each one takes the challenges. To Eric's point, how are they going to interact with each other? Because it is very intense. The competition moves very quickly. They film an episode every 3 days in reality, so it's very fast paced.
Or less. Most of the time, it's 2 days.
3 at the most. Yeah, 3 at the most. Yeah. So
that's if they got a lot of time. You kind of saw that in this episode. I think it was Layla. Her excuse at one point was oh, I'm kind of getting into it. In the beginning of the day, it was kind of crazy. And now, because they really started that day with entrances, then they went to photo shoots, then they went to that's all one day. And
one long day, right?
And a lot of waiting. A lot of waiting, a lot of reshooting,
all the girls in the room and David Thielen know standing on high heels all day long is hard. And I'm not a boy, but I can only imagine having your dick tucked all day must hurt too.
I loved it. I screen grabbed that one shot of, oh my God, was it Chi-Chi? Where he's like, can I just for a minute? Can I just sit down for a minute? And he was, do I have it? I do. I got it right here. This cracked me up when he was like, I just need to untuck. He's like, I'm going to spread it and I'm going to untuck. I'm done. And it cracked me up. I loved it. But, yeah, well, who do we think? I think we should wrap up this week and pick who do we think going into next week is going to be on the top, and who do we think is going to be in danger next week? And I will let you go first.
Well, I think that Acid Betty is going to be one of the people that is going to continually bring it every week. I think that she's in it for the long haul. I think she has a lot to show. So I look for I look for great challenge from Acid Betty. Definitely Kim Chi is, it seems like that she's not a one-trick pony and she's got a lot of things that she can do. Derek's going to need to overcome, the Britney thing, maybe or maybe not. Like you said, the comments are a little bit confusing. Cynthia LaFontaine, who is from Puerto Rico, she actually is a real singer, so she's going to have a lot of performance potential.
But you're not allowed to pick the whole cast for who you think your one person is going to be on the top. Obviously,
so you want my one person.
I want your one guess.
Okay, well, without knowing what the challenge is, I'm going to go with Acid Betty.
You're going to go with Acid Betty. I am going to go with Derek.
Okay.
Because I don't think it matters what the challenge is. I have a feeling Derek is going to not Britney it, and coming off the critique of let's not do Britney anymore, all the judges are going to be like, oh my God, you wowed us not as Britney and you're the winner, Derek. That is my reason for picking him to be on top next week. And it's just a guess.
And then I want to ask you, who do you think the dark horse of the competition is? Because after last night, I have a different person.
Okay, chat room, you let us know. Also, put who you think's going to be the top, put who you think is the dark horse, and put who you think's in trouble next week. And we want to see what you guys are thinking in the chat. And of course, if you are watching this back later, come watch our shows live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern in YouNow, and you can be in the chat room too. Who do I think is going to be the dark horse of the season? Oh, 100% Gigi. It already is. She's already getting the edit of I came in a trash bag. I don't have a lot of money. I'm not brand loyal to makeup. It's 100% her. She's already getting that edit. Why? Who do you think?
I think that based on the fact that we didn't see really too much of her last night, I think Thorgy is going to surprise us. Thorgy's the one that has the dreadlocks in real life, the New York queen that came in looking like Bozo the Clown. I think Thorgy may be a surprise dark horse, and I'm really interested to see what her talents are.
I'm gonna pick I just lost it. I think it was from Jessica Hardick in the chat room. I'll go with says Kimchi, I think is who she's saying is gonna be in the top next week. Acid Betty is the dark horse. And Derek you think is gonna be out? Ooh, those are fighting words, Jessica. Fighting words. All right. Well, Miss Don Draper.
Evidently, we're having...
I know, but it won't be for the playback. So, let's end it for us, and then for our YouTube and our other friends, tell everybody where they can find you, Miss Don Draper.
You can find me at the corner of Gin and Despair, but on Twitter, at Ms. Don Draper, right here.
Right there. And you can find me at Reality Recaps. Of course, you can watch our playbacks of this show at yourrealityrecaps.com/DragRace, along with Vince's blogs. And again, if you're watching in YouTube, thumbs up and subscribe. iTunes, 5-star rating and a nice review. And become a patron if you want to help support our shows. Ooh, cleavage shot for the final scene, Miss Don Draper.
Better work.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,
We'll see you back here next week, 7 p.m. Bye.